Hey, sweet friends, it's me again. Aren't you excited? It is Life Chronicles today. And if you don't know what that is or who I am, I'm Lori. I'm Life on Foothill. That is my channel. And on Wednesdays, we talk about everything has to do with our faith and anything that we need prayer about or just an ear to listen. That's what I'm here for. You'll have to forgive me. I'm still struggling with some medical issues. So I feel I'm a little weak, a little out of breath, but I'm doing good. I'm hanging in there. It's all good. God is good. And we are going to recover just fine. So, and also excuse my poofy hair. I don't want to put it up in a bun today because I'm getting ready to get in the shower and wash it. I feel like I'm back in the 80s. I mean, I wish my hair would have been curly like this in the 80s. My hair has always been wavy, but ever since I've hit menopause, it looks like I have a perm in my hair. It's weirdest stuff. So you're going to get my 80s due today and my crown of glory because I'm contemplating letting my gray grow out. So you tell me what you think. I know it's going to make me look old, but you know what? Inside I'm 95. I'm 95. So it's okay. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna let my crown of glory grow out. I don't know. I say that and then I look in the mirror and I like, oh no, I gotta cover that up. But God's dealing with me on some vanity issues. Not that I'm a vain person or anything, but that's what we're here to talk about today. So not vanity, but the one thing that I have learned since turning 50. The one thing that God taught me leading up to turning 50. The most wonderful thing I learned after turning 50. And that would be to not care what others think. Shocker, I know. Shocker. You would have never guessed that, right? I don't care. I don't wake up in the morning and worry about what my house looks like, what my life looks like, what I look like. Now, granted, for my own feelings, I like to do nice things. I'll fix my hair, put makeup on, or wear something nice. It makes me feel more confident. It makes me feel a little more put together, like I got my life together a little bit. But I don't care what other people think about me. And I don't care what other people feel I should be in their eyes, if that makes sense. And I used to not be that way. When I was younger, I couldn't leave my house without makeup. I had to have my hair done. I was always trying so hard to get people to like me. You know, I mean, we all want to feel accepted and loved and all those fabulous things. And that's still a thing. I mean, you still, even when you get older, want to feel accepted and loved, but you don't want to be a show pony to get it, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to jump through hoops to try to make you like me, because I've learned that no matter what you do, you're not going to please everybody. And the one person you should be pleasing is the Lord. And if you're trying to please man, then are you pleasing the Lord? Probably not. So I've found that you can't do both. You can't please the Lord and please man. But you can please the Lord by loving on man, and in turn, that the loving on the man may please them. So it's a whole big thing. But my point is as I've gotten older, when I was young, I thought my 50s, 60s, 70s are so far away, and I thought I had all this time to just be me and do what I wanted and be what I wanted. And really I wasn't. I was being what everybody else wanted me to be, or what I thought everybody else thought I should be, and trying to live up to society standards, or, just how other people viewed me was important. Like it had a detriment to my mental health. If somebody didn't like me, I thought the world was coming to an end. And don't let people have that control over you. That's, I look back at that and I think, oh my gosh, if I hadn't let people have that much control of me, what would my life have been like? What if I just let go, and like I have now, and just lived to be who I, or God, I should say, wanted me to be? And when you get older, once I hit 50, and I did go through my illness, that my testimony that kind of brought me to the other side of the side of this. Once I went through all that, and I felt like I stood with death in my face, and I realized that, man, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. My life, the big chunk of my life, is over, right? Not that I don't have life left to live, but that time that I thought that I had forever, that time is done. And now I'm closer than ever to being at the end of my life. It could be tomorrow, it could be next week. Even as you're young, you could be close to the end of your life. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. But you know what I mean. It's just, you just never know. And to learn to let go and be free, it's amazing. It's such an amazing thing that I wish young people could have, because especially with social media and trying to compare ourselves to people online, and even older people do it. I don't, because I don't care. I just don't care. God has given me that peace with myself to know that my last years here, I'm tired. I don't want to live to please this world anymore. I want to live to please the one that gave me the life to live here. Because that's where I'm going sooner than later, right? Used to be later than sooner. Now it's or so I thought. Now it's sooner than later. So the big portion of my life is over, and now I have this third of my life left to a quarter of my life left. I don't know. My family has short lifespans, so it could be 5 years from now. It could be tomorrow. So I've been having health issues. It could be next week. I don't know. Maybe I'll not wake up one day. I don't know. I mean, that's a potential. I'm not afraid of it. I'm not scared of it. But I also don't want to live my life worrying about what the world thinks. I want to wake up in the morning and breathe in the fresh air outside when I take the dog out, and listen to the birds sing, and drink my cup of tea, and walk into my bathroom and feel the cold tiles under my feet, and hear the birds singing outside the window, and wash my face and feel the water against my skin, and just enjoy every single thing that God has blessed me with. It is incredible what we have been blessed with. And I was thinking something else too. I was thinking about having joy in suffering. That's a huge task to ask somebody, and only somebody that is a Christian, a true Christian, true born again Christian, can explain why it's so important to have joy during suffering, and those people are able to have joy during suffering. And joy during suffering is kind of like childbirth. Childbirth is pain and long sometimes, and you think it's never going to end, and you think it's just going to wipe you out. You're over, and you're going to be, this is going to last forever. This pain is going to last forever. But in the midst of that pain, there's excitement, because at the end of that pain from childbirth is going to be this precious, most beautiful gift that God has ever given you. And the joy that gift is going to bring is greater than the pain that got you there, right? So I was thinking about that the other day too. I thought, yeah, joy in the midst of suffering is a lot like childbirth, and it's growing pains. It's learning to trust God when it feels like the world is caving in around you. So, yeah, I just, I wanted people to understand that when you get to the last part of your life, you quit worrying about other people's opinions. You quit being a people pleaser. Now you want to love on people and you want to do good things for people, but your world access, your life force doesn't depend on people's opinions of you or how people view you. It's your heart that brings the beauty, because beauty fades. I used to get compliments all the time on my looks. I was thin or thinner. I was blonde. I was, I always relied on my looks to get people to like me, to boys to like me, people to like me. And it worked. It worked. I never thought I was beautiful. I just always knew that if I fixed myself up and I, was thin and I stayed thin and I was attractive to people, and I could get my way with things, or I would get attention that I wanted. All these things that I thought that was important to me in the moment. Shallow, unimportant things. But I used my looks as my security blanket, because I knew as long as I looked pretty, people would treat me nice. It's a thing. If I will fix my hair and I put makeup on and I wear nice clothes, even being heavier, if I do those things and I go out into public, people treat me different. They're nicer to me. They're polite. They're friendly. If I go out with my headache hair and my bun with my little loops sticking out the back and my grubby little sweatpants on and t-shirt and, no makeup, no nothing, just my grubby little me, I'm looked past, and, I can smile at people and they won't smile back. It's a true thing. Sad thing, but true. So, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me anymore. And I think that I try to go as close to me as I possibly can everywhere, because I am worthy, even without a fancy hairdo or nice clothing or makeup or, just trying to fit into this world, because we're not supposed to be a part of this world. I've said it over and over again. I'm not going to say it again because I'm just preaching at you, but I just wanted to give you insight as to where my brain is right now and what I'm focused on. And that's not fitting in. That's why I want to grow out the crown of glory that God gave me. Tired of dying it. I'm tired of worrying about what other people think of me. I'm worthy of people's love. And if my looks are the only way they can give it to me, they're not worthy of my time. So I will still love them, but they're not worthy of my time, of my mental energy, if that makes sense. So stop putting all your eggs into the world's basket and start putting your eggs into the future you have with the Lord. And, it's kind of like a savings account. If you put all your money in the bank and you save it, at some point, you're going to have a pretty good buildup. But if you put it in other people's banks and give it to them, at the end, you'll have nothing left and you'll be empty. So stop giving your life to other people and what you think other people want from you, or what you should do, or who you should be. Just be you. You're beautiful. You are wonderful, just the way you are. Are we all broken? Yes. But you are made by God, and He thinks you're precious. And I think you're precious. So let's be precious together and buckle up and let's live the last parts of our lives, or the beginning of our lives, or the middle of our lives for God and not for other people. Because everything will fade. Beauty fades. But if you're ugly on the inside and you're empty on the inside, once the beauty fades, there's nothing left. You're empty. It's gone. But if you store up that money in that bank, in God's bank, at the end, you'll be rich. And that's rich with love and stability and peace and joy, and realizing that this little stuff we got going on here is just temporary. It's just temporary. And we get to go and be in heaven where it's so much better. And it's closer for me than it ever has been. And I realize that. And I am looking that in the face, and I am living accordingly. I'm going to love the place I'm in. I'm going to be content with the things I have. I'm not going to store up treasures on this earth. Now, granted, you know my thrifting addiction. That's okay. Lord knows my thrifting addiction. But I could give it all away tomorrow and I'd still be happy. It could be gone tomorrow and I'd be happy. So that's not a big deal. That is not a big deal. But I do know that the Lord is the thing that I need the most, and He can never be replaced with anything. And that's the important part, that we don't replace Him with the things from this world and store those as our treasure. He's our treasure. He is our reward. So if you're young, listen to me. Don't live on social media. Don't. Social media is entertainment. Don't use it as a guidepost for your life, because there's too much mental illness that gets glorified on social media. And unfortunately, it's real. You know, I was fortunate enough that I grew up at a time where we didn't get to suffer everybody else's mental illness on top of our own mental illnesses. So I think that's a huge deal. And, you know, while there's, you know, help and there's things for mental illness, we don't need to make ours worse if we suffer with it by watching other people's suffering. Do you understand what I'm saying? So love people, but don't suffer with them. Pray for them. But yeah, if you're young, it doesn't last forever. It doesn't last forever. And I'm talking to 40-year-olds too, because I'm going to tell you, that was the quickest decade of my life, was 40 to 50. I feel like I sneezed and I went from 40 to 50 in no time flat. So, you know, it flies by. So enjoy what God has given you, even if it's not as perfect as you would hope for, or it's not what you would want, or even if it's very painful. That's okay. Find the beauty in it, because there's beauty in ashes. You can find it. And it's kind of an adventure to do it. It's kind of an adventure to wake up and say, what great things are going to be in store for me today. Glory to God. He's going to give you great things. But if you go into it thinking my life is terrible and, you know, this, that, and the other, my dog's barking. Somebody's here. I don't know. Probably the mailman or the Amazon man. I don't know. I've been getting a lot of Amazon here lately because all of my reorders, you know, the like subscribe stuff. Like we subscribe to, like, you know, deodorant, you know, things that you use every few months, shampoo, stuff like that. We subscribe and they deliver it, so we don't have to go get it. So we don't run out, because we're bad about keeping up on those things. And it's cheaper for us to do it that way. So that's probably what it is. I think I had some filters coming. I don't know. But anyhow, I'm just chatting away. But I wanted to hop on here because it is Life Chronicles. I didn't really have anything hugely monumental to talk about. I just wanted to tell you about how I feel after 50 because it comes quick and I never realized how quickly it came. And I'm learning that I'm facing the end of my life. This is reality. I don't have a ton of time left. In my 20s, I had the whole rest of my life left. In my teens, I had the whole rest of my life left. I never gave a flicker of a moment's thought to what it would look like to be in my 50s. Always, even my mom, when she was in her 50s, I was like, oh, she's young. She's young. Why does she act like she's so old? Well, she had health problems, kind of like me, and I didn't realize that. And, so my life is almost over. It is. And that's okay. I'm not afraid and I'm not sad about it. I've had a wonderful life. Have I had trauma? Yes, but I refuse to be codependent on my trauma. I'm not going to be codependent on my trauma. I'm not going to be the victim of what people's done to me in the past, because then that just keeps me in the past. I have a beautiful life, and even when I have problems now, I'm not going to be a victim to those problems, because there's so much more to be had. So yeah, I refuse to be codependent on my trauma. Bottom line. And I know there's a lot of people that like to be a victim, and they enjoy the victimhood and the codependency on their trauma because it gives them an excuse for their behavior. And that's not right. It's not right. You still have standards to live by, even when you've been treated poorly. We've all been treated poorly at some point in our lives. Not every single, there's always exceptions to every rule, but most people have been treated poorly at some point in their life, and it doesn't give us the excuse, and everybody's trauma is either, is just as bad as the next person. So nobody has won the trauma award in life and, oh, you had it the worst of anybody. We've all had it pretty bad. Not that I'm minimizing people's pain, but you choose to live in the pain. I mean, you can get over it, work through it, get over it, and find peace and joy in the Lord, or you can live in it and be codependent on it. It's up to you. So I choose not to be codependent on my trauma. And I've had a lot of it. I've told you over and over again, I've had a lot of trauma. And it's not fun to think about. And it's, if I want to dredge it up and live it again, I could do that. But that's why I don't even do therapy anymore, because that's all they wanted to do. They just wanted me to go backwards. And my whole goal in life is to get past it, not to go back in it. You know what I'm saying? Give me the tools to move forward in life. Tell me what I need to do to move forward. I don't need to move backwards to move forwards. I don't believe in that theory at all. I've been through therapy since I was 8 years old. I don't like visiting my past. Not because it's hard to do, just because I've done it over and over again, and it didn't do anything for me. The only thing that solved that problem was trusting the Lord and finding His peace, because His peace is beyond all peace. It is, I can't even explain to you the feeling that it gives you. And if it's like this for me now, I can't imagine what it's going to be like in heaven. Girl, I'm telling you, I'm excited. There was a time when I was afraid of death, because I was very unsure of my salvation. And if that is a question for you, if your salvation is a question for you, I'm going to talk to God about it, because that means you have things in your life you haven't let go of. That means that you're still worshiping something other than God. Usually control, your trauma, other people, the world, So take a look at that and see, because maybe that's something that you need to let go of to move forward and to find that peace. But I've talked your ear off. We're at 24 minutes, and that seems good enough to me. But my goal was to tell you that your 50s are not so bad. Your in-life stages are not so bad. While I hurt and I'm sick a lot, I'm still thankful that I know where I'm going, and that if I'm not here tomorrow, that you'll all know where I'm at too. That's a great, great feeling. And again, sorry for my Medusa hair. I'm going to go wash it now and get ready to go to the vet to take my bean and get something to eat because I'm struggling to eat right now. I'm only able to eat little bits at a time because my stomach is having some issues. Look at that Medusa hair, man. I don't know how this curl happened. I just don't know how this curl happened. I never had curl like this. I mean, it's even not really as curly as it normally is because I brushed it out. I've always just had a little bit of wave, but never curls. If this is wet and I let it dry, it would be complete curls. So weird. But yeah, thanks for tolerating my Medusa hair and listening to me talk about my old age. And hopefully I'll have another video up this week. I don't guarantee anything. It just depends on life and what goes on, and how much time I have to edit and how I'm feeling. Because like I said, I've been struggling with some health issues for the last month, and we're still working with the doctor to figure out what's wrong with me. So all of my blood panels, except for my liver tests, come back normal. So I don't know if that's the problem, but we shall find out, I'm sure. And remember, guys, read this. It's your lifeline here on earth to God. So don't read your devotions. Read these. Use the devotions for fun. But this is your main meal. Okay? And I love you all so much. I wish I could squeeze your cute little necks and just love you. I did get to love on one of you all this past Saturday or Sunday, and that was pretty great. She probably thinks I'm crazy, but that's okay. Everybody probably does. I don't care. But anyways, I'm still talking. I love you. I love you. I love you. I will see you in the next video. But for now, remember, live a quiet life, work with your hands, mind your own business, love God and love others, and you'll be okay. I will see you next time. Bye, sweet friends. I love you.